story you are about to hear is not just another heist. It's the tale of a man named John Cole, a man who built the kind of vault no one could ever break until he decided to rob it himself. A job that promised $60 million in untraceable bonds, but turned into a nightmare of blood, betrayal, and survival. Inside that vault, trust shattered, guns fired, and even the hostages became threats. By the time the smoke cleared, only one man walked out alive, and he wasn't supposed to. This is the vault job, the heist no one was ever meant to survive. So take a seat, grab your popcorn, and get ready to step into the world of secrets and mysteries. New to the channel? Hit subscribe and tap that like button to join the journey. My name is John Cole. I built the impossible once. I taught people where to put their trust and where to quit looking. I was a ghost in a systems office, a man who knew the seams of vaults and the quiet, stupid arrogance of safety. I quit the clean life when it took everything I had. This story is not about justice. It is not an apology. It's a map. The weather, the timbre of footsteps, the crack in a friendship no one saw coming. If you're expecting a smooth movie, stop now. This is the truth as I remember it, jagged, impatient, and smelling of smoke. There were 5 of us. You can memorize faces if you want, but remember this. People are made of decisions, not features. Me, John Cole, quiet, engineer, once paid to make things unbreakable. Rico Vance, the driver, short fuse, steady hands when the engine is warm. He believes speed solved everything. Tasha Lynn, a ghost in the wires, early 20s and already hunted by ghosts of her own. She spoke in code and laughter, and she never let anyone see her fear. Mason Briggs, ex-detective, soft on paper, iron in his jaw. He said things like redemption and second chance between packs of cigarettes. He was the moral light we all needed to believe in. Nina Valaz, she was the reason I forgot how to fold my shirts. Safecracker, thief, the woman who could read the inside of a bank the way other people read a book. She loved me once. She loved money, always. We met in a warehouse that smelled of oil and old coffee. The rain that night was a sheet against the windows. I set the blueprint down and watched the way it rifled in the wind, like a body refusing to go quiet. The lower reserve, I said. Federal branch downtown. Bearer bonds, cash reserves, a vault beneath a vault. 60 million in unmarked instruments. Not traced, not electronic. Paper that no one can follow. I didn't say why. They didn't ask. What do you need from us? Rico wanted to know. He tapped his knuckles on the table. Habit, nerves. Everything, I answered. Your knives, your lies, your courage, and someone to make the river say nothing when we pass. We planned for weeks. We rehearsed the tunnels, the timings, the power grid. Tasha and I ghosted cameras and rewired sensors like removing lice from a sweater. Mason bought us credibility, a little threat on the street, an address at a halfway house, a clean story for witnesses. Nina taught me how to feel cautious and romantic in the same breath. There was one thing we forgot to plan for, the human tendency to become a story's hero. Rain had been our ally for days. It blurred the city and softened the corners of street lamps. We moved like ghosts. No lights, no names. I remember the way the van rocked when Rico shifted gears, the small lullaby of tires on wet asphalt. The reserve sat like a fortress. On paper, it was a beauty. 3 levels of security, proofing that made confidence into an art. I had been inside years before. I knew its skin. I knew where it breathed and where it clutched. We arrived at 1:07. Tasha had looped the cameras, told the building that night crew maintenance was running late. You'll have 9 minutes, she said, fingers quick and calm on a tablet. I'll buy you time. 9 minutes and 30 seconds if the grid hiccups in Sector D. We had 9 minutes to do work that men owed their lives to. Nina and I slipped through the service door. Her hands were steady as a surgeon's in the low light. She could find a lock's heart like she was looking for a missing tooth. We moved past rooms that smelled of bleach and old money. The closer to the vault we got, the thicker the air felt. Not with dust, but with the gravity of what we were about to take. Mason took the front, a specter in a security uniform we'd bought illegally. He opened doors with a badge and a smile like a practiced lie. Rico idled the van. Tasha sat in a blacked-out sedan a block away, shoulders taut like a coiled wire. We set the charge. I remember the way the vault doors stood, black steel and arrogance. I remember the soft click of my breath as I fitted the module I designed into the lock. The device was simple to me, a teddy bear to a child, dangerous because it belonged to us. I had spent years building redundancies into vaults and years teaching people to trust them. Now I use that knowledge like a heretic uses scripture. 3 minutes into it, the thing that always feels like narrative's neat turn happened. The lights went out. That was my cue to smile. That was Tasha's cue to hum under her breath. That was the moment when the world lets you believe you will succeed. As you all know, in every heist, there's always someone who wants to be a hero. 5 minutes to the job, a man stood up. He introduced himself like a punch. "You can't do this," he said, with a voice that tried to be steel and landed somewhere between fear and bravado. He had a suit that had seen better days and the kind of arrogance only bought men wore. "I'm calling the cops," he announced. Nina looked like she wanted to laugh. Mason's jaw thinned. Rico glanced at me as if the man's phone was an extra bullet to dodge. "Sir," Mason said softly, the voice he used when lying to children, we need you to stay calm. There are going to be hostages." I finished for him. I had seen men like this on television. The hero who'd never been asked. The man who sees a fire and thinks putting it out will be theater. Where most people run from the stage, he had decided to become the lead. He moved like an actor toward the teller line, and for the first time, I saw the ripple of the unknown. A woman with a child clutched to her chest, an old man with papers trembling in his lap, a barista in a purple apron who looked 17 and very frightened. The man, the would-be hero, put himself in front of them like a shield. We had not planned for a shield. Listen, I said, my voice smooth as oil. We don't want anyone to get hurt.
No one needs to die.
Stay where you are. No one needs to die, but the man insisted. He argued morals in a place where rules had no currency. He walked toward the vault in a way that made his chest look too big for his suit, and I felt something I had not felt in a long time. Anger, not for the man, for what he represented.
You don't get to be the hero.
You don't get to be the hero, I told him quietly, the words more to myself than him. He looked at me then, eyes bright with a dangerous kind of righteousness, and he smiled like a child opening a present. He reached under his jacket and produced a small stun device, the kind that makes your knees remember gravity. He wanted to be the story. He acted. He lunged. Did you enjoy the story? Then don't just stop here. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next mystery. We've got more thrilling stories coming your way, and trust me, you don't want to miss them.